Buckle up, Seminoles fans, because today's news is something I did not even believe was possible until just a couple of days ago. Huge doesn't even begin to describe it. Let's jump right in. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming to the channel. I want to give a massive shout out to the Graham Co. They're sponsors for today's video. They are FSU alums. They're vet owned and they have the best Delta 8 products on the market. Go to thegrahamco.com and use code TJ25. You'll get 25% off of gummies, pre-rolls, and more. Try the green apple gummies. They're absolutely elite. Appreciate Graham Co. and their support. Florida State got some incredible news today as starting defensive tackle Fabien Lovett announced he'd return for one more season in Tallahassee. Florida State had a super talented defensive line in 2022, and that figures to get even better in 2023. With the addition of Darrell Jackson, who we spoke about a few days ago, and the additions that Florida State is going to pick up on signing day, this defensive line is going to be, at minimum, top 2 in the ACC, and it's going to be one of the best in the entire nation. Fabien missed a lot of time this season. He went out on the last drive of the LSU game and didn't return until Georgia Tech. I remember sitting in the end zone that the block ended up happening in as LSU was driving down the field toward that end zone and seeing Fabo go down and thinking to myself, man, I hope that that is not a serious injury. Well, unfortunately it was, and he missed 5 games of action. He did return for the latter half of the season, and you could see a difference. When Fabien was on the field and when Fabien wasn't on the field, the middle just wasn't the same. Florida State's defense struggled against teams like Wake and NC State and Clemson, but when Lovett got back in there and was clogging up the middle, the play definitely improved. Fabien can likely very much benefit from an extra season in Tallahassee. Him missing nearly half the season just means he put less on film, and I'm not 100% where he would have been drafted anyway. I do think he would have gone in the NFL draft, but a full healthy season in 2023 could do wonders for his stock. And if FSU's defensive anchor puts it all together, he could be looking at a day 1 or day 2 draft grade next season. Lovett was certainly a fan favorite this year, and it was brutal watching him have to sit out for a large portion of the season. In the most recent episode of The Climb, the FSU behind-the-scenes video that you can find on YouTube and that I'll link in the description, Mike Norvell spoke about his leadership and his motivation to others while he was sidelined. If you haven't seen The Climb, you should go watch it. They do a fantastic job. FSU's production team is really, really elite. But I think it speaks to the character of Fabien Lovett. He's a leader both on and off the field, and I think with him back, FSU has a chance to do some special things. We're excited to see what those are. I want to dive a little bit back into that character and into that culture that I think that this decision and Fabien's general character around the season kind of speaks to. Mike Norvell talks about having an attitude of service, and that's something that he's been big on since he got to Florida State. You can think about some of the great things that FSU athletes and players have done over the last couple of years. I love the partnership with Rising Spear and the fact that a lot of our athletes in all sports go to the Boys and Girls Club and local schools to hang out with kids and really have a positive impact on them. But I love that what Fabien has done, and I think he had an opportunity this year to kind of pout and sulk and think that things were unfortunate and really kind of mope and get down on himself, but he didn't do that. You know, and I'm sure there were some quiet times of being frustrated and hoping, wishing you were out there and, you know, impacting your team on the field. But he did what any great leader does, and he went out and impacted his team in a very positive way off the field. He was a leader and did a ton to continue to help younger guys develop and younger guys step into the role that he unfortunately couldn't fill through much of the season. When he got back, though, it was pretty special to watch as Florida State shut down every offense they played with the exception of the game at the end of the year against Florida. It was pretty special. And I think that the defensive line is going to be elite next year And Fabo anchoring that thing is going to be a ton of fun to watch. There's a good amount of exciting news that's coming over the next few days and weeks. Make sure you're tuned into the channel. Subscribe now so you don't miss out. We're going to keep the content flowing. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on Fabo making a return to Tallahassee for another season. The portal, retention, and recruiting are going to be nuts the next couple of weeks. So make sure you're subscribed and don't miss out. Of course, we'll do bowl coverage as well with the matchup against Oklahoma coming. Until next time, folks, go Noles.